Let's talk about not elite Bryce Harper in the batting cage.
Oh no.
Let's talk about
We're moving on to the Phillies? You're
the Met
switching right over to the Phillies?
how the Mets
Oh god.
pretty much are dropping their nuts on the Phillies' face, dude. Like they just traded for Luis Robert Jr. What yesterday they got Freddie Peralta, Bo Bichette signed there. Like Dave Dombrowski and Middleton and the Phillies ownership refuses to get with the times, and they want to sign these dudes for 7 years, 100 and half the price essentially. The players want to get paid on short term. Which look with the deal that more comes out about the Bo Bichette deal, I wouldn't have wanted to do that anyway. He's a player option after the first year. That's ridiculous. So either comes in and blows and comes back to you because he's not going to get any money, or he comes in and kicks ass, and then you have to re-sign him for boatloads of money. Like, I wouldn't have wanted that. But the Phillies need to get with the times that these dudes don't want to get paid over 7 years. They want the 3 to 5 years deals. So they lose Bo Bichette. They bring back JT when they were literally bidding against themselves. Nobody else was bidding for JT. They bid themselves from 12 million a year to 15 million a year, or he would have sat the hell at home. Let him sit the hell at home. Why are you giving him 15 million when there's no other team bidding for his stupid old ass? Like, and now Bader is still out there, and like the question is like, does it make it better if they re-sign Bader at this point? Like their offense, the team's gonna stink. They might win 90 games. But they're not gonna beat anybody in the playoffs. They're not beating anybody. I don't give a goddamn if you win the NL East every year when you know going into the playoffs you have no chance to win. You have no chance to win. The Mets let their best player go to the Dodgers, and then they made their team better. The Mets are better than the Phillies right now. And I think they're going to win more games if those two guys stay healthy. They're gonna beat the Phillies this year.
All right, my turn. I'm gonna start off with a little rebuttal on you. The Mets are not better than the Phillies. The Mets are worse than the Mets were at the end of the season. I'll go over just the Mets roster. The Mets lost Edwin Diaz, Hazley, Rogers, what the
Alonso.
heck, and the lefty from the Phillies, the left-handed flamethrower that the Phillies used to have. Why can't I remember his freaking name? But their whole
Pete
bullpen.
Alonso.
They lost, and then they lost Pete Alonso. They lost Brandon Nimmo. They lost McNeil, and they lost Starling Marte. Brandon Nimmo and Pete Alonso alone are about 80 home runs in that lineup, and they filled the holes with Brett Batty, who's filling in for Alonso. That's a loss. Then they got Simeon for McNeil, which honestly, at this point in their careers, I think that's a wash. Simeon hit 220 last year. And then they got Bo Bichette to fill in for, I don't know. I don't know where Bo Bichette's going to go.
My man will hit 300 and hit 20 home runs.
I
He's a
agree, but
solid player.
where he is a solid player, but where's he going to play? They already have a second baseman. They already have a third baseman. They already have a shortstop. Where's he going to play? They'll figure it out, I guess. But if you want to go roster,
Well,
roster,
he's not playing. He's not playing shortstop because Lindor's playing shortstop.
exactly. So if you want to
He's
go
either playing second or
roster,
third.
let's just say they took out Starling Marte and they add Bichette. That's a plus. They get success there. And then they got rid of Nimmo and they brought Louis Robert Jr. That's a loss. Robert is not as good as Brandon Nimmo. Brandon Nimmo is a 280 hitter with 30 plus home runs.
I like him.
The Mets made
He's a
moves that
solid
made,
player.
and then they got Freddie Peralta. Freddie Peralta is a great move, but Freddie Peralta they gave up their top two prospects for Freddie Peralta. So listen, the Mets made moves to make them look better, but they're not better than they were at the end of last year, and they didn't make the playoffs last year. Here's the thing that pisses me off the most. The Phillies need a right-handed bat that'll get you 20 plus home runs and a good fielder in the outfield. They've been linked to Louis Robert Jr. for 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
The Mets gave up 2 mid-level prospects for him. Why could you not do that? I'm not angry that we didn't sign Bo Bichette. We gave Bo Bichette the contract that Bo Bichette's team asked for, and that little snake went and took money from someone else. And all he's going to do is get $40 million for the first year, and then he's going to opt out when they go on strike, and he's going to have 32 teams that are going to have to pay more money because the salary floor is going to go up that are going to go after him, so he's going to make more money. I got no problem with that. I got no problem with not going after Kyle Tucker. I'm not paying Kyle Tucker $60 million. He's not worth it. He's not that good. For some reason, everyone thinks the dude is amazing. He is not that good.
It's because of the teams he played on.
It's
He was
not
on
just
what?
that. It's
He
not
was on
just the reason
Houston, or no, he
everyone.
was on the Rangers.
He was on Houston, and then he went to the Cubs. He was not on the Rangers. But
Oh yeah,
the only
the Cubs,
reason
yeah.
everybody loves him is because he fit a perfect need for the Phillies. The only reason everyone loved Bo Bichette is because he's a top of the lineup, right-handed bat, has a little bit of pop, and hits for average. He would have fit a need for the Phillies. These signings are not for the Mets. They don't make any sense to me. You were a team that was, in my opinion, starting to break it down to build it back up. And you're just signing guys now because you broke it down too far, and the fans are like, yo, what the hell are you doing?
They have all this money.
But those moves for the Phillies would have made perfect sense. So, like, I'm pissed off because you just let your rival trade for a guy that you've been linked to for 4 seasons and give up basically nothing for him. And now you're about to go into a season with an outfield that's going to hit a cumulative between the 3 of them, maybe 40 home runs. Maybe. And you just let a guy that is going to hit 25. He's a center fielder that's going to hit 25 home runs. He's a right-handed bat that's going to hit 25 home runs. Yes, he strikes out too much. Yes, he doesn't hit for great average. But if you put him in the Phillies lineup, he's going to hit 7th. Louis Roberto hit 7th in the Phillies lineup. He'll hit 240, 250 with 25 to 30 home runs, and everyone will be like, this is amazing. And he's a phenomenal outfielder. Like, the Mets making the moves, in my opinion, it doesn't make the Mets better than the Phillies, but the moves that the Mets made piss me off because the Phillies aren't doing anything.
It's a bad look for Dombrowski. He's getting
exactly
beat.
Right.
He's getting beat left and right by the Mets. Like the two. And here's the thing: like the more that came out about the Bichette thing, it was his agent blowing smoke to the media, right? To make that happen. He was on his honeymoon when the Phillies had a FaceTime with him. They didn't meet with him. That's not meeting with the guy. He was on some island somewhere with his new wife. He didn't give 2 shits about talking to the Phillies. He was out there getting hammered, drinking.